Did Common just step and get exposed? Uninterested in Jennifer Hudson? Due to Tiffany Haddish certainly seems to think so. And without any rest, she is making fun of J. Hud. Not at all. Tiffany never truly moved on. The pain of Common's departure. And now she seems to be now understanding the final chuckle. Noisy, disorganized, and without apology. Individuals have been years of rumors that Common isn't Jennifer believed that he was the ideal man. She continued to brush it after landing. Away. His past is filled with broken promises, brief encounters, and untidy situationships that burn out quickly. Now, rumors are circulating that J. Hud is going to be the next heartbreak for him. Victim, since there are speculations that he has already strutting across town with a brand new gal. Jennifer has been disintegrating in private. Additionally, who is posted in the front row taking in the circus? Tiffany Haddish. She is consuming it as if it were her go-to snack. You and Jen are still having a great time. That's section 1. Additionally, do you ever envision getting married someday? Well, in regards to Jenny Jen, Abs is my favorite. Of course. Together we are and well. I simply value her as a partner, as an artist, as a woman, as a person. She is unique and she's not even trying to hide anything. Her happiness. The gloom she has been emitting is smooth yet really sharp at Jennifer. You can actually sense the resentment leaking out of what she said. However, the larger. This is why a bomb would pose a common risk. Playing, of all people, Jennifer Hudson? Who is this unidentified woman beside him? And is Tiffany really planning something? To slide in again and grab him herself? Let's not pretend to be brand new. No one, this is where one should be astonished. Common people never been about that eternal life, regardless of how effortlessly he speaks. His romantic life is a single, large highlight clip of quick flings, prominent connections, and successful departures more difficult than his entrances. Supporters continued to crossing their fingers and hoping that Jennifer could be the one after all. To soothe him, perhaps even initiate he has avoided his family for decades. However, currently that dream appears to be dead. Though there is a lot of talk about Common's chasing after Jennifer while wearing severalities, and she's heartbroken. What constitutes it's so filthy that just a few? This same man was everywhere a few weeks ago. Interviews referring to Jennifer as the one even making a marriage suggestion. Consider creating promises of that nature with a straight face as she skulked behind her. Back. Many people are apologizing for Jennifer at this moment. However, Tiffany, she isn't crying in any way. She's smiling like a movie villain. That's your personal situation. And I simply feel thankful for it. I give thanks to God. Indeed, we are doing well. Marriage is something that I would consider if we were to tie the knot. Jennifer is the individual. She is the prototype I see. However, she is more than just the prototype. She is the one. Nevertheless, having stated that, it's one of those situations where I'm constantly examining my life and, okay, what? As that's a kind of tough decision to make. You are aware of, and without a doubt, and, not to be taken in a light manner. Seeing her ex validate each warning sign she once attempted to wave before people, and her smile conveys everything. This is the clumsy breakdown for which she had been waiting. As said by one, Tiffany has been eating, according to an insider, bringing up the entire cheating scandal as if it were her favorite dish. Each and every bite of drama. Furthermore, if you followed her, this isn't shocking at all since the separation. Everything. The fact that she was never truly concealed, continued to call Common, even as making fun of him in public. She has been slick shade for a lengthy while, and many folks think those digs are real, were her means of implying Common had already cheated with Jennifer on her. Do you recall that notorious Instagram live? A Tiffany was asked by a fan if she ever received they handed Common the earrings to her. Tiffany didn't miss a beat, retorted, "He never stopped giving me no earrings," which he most likely presented to Jennifer. That sour retort has admirers, immediately certain that Jennifer was already behind Tiffany's back. Playing tricks on him. I'm having fun. I will refrain from putting nothing more. If he wishes to get married, he can provide me with an apartment. Construction. Oh, I see. A ring is not what you want. You desire a complex of apartments. I provide me with an apex, duplex, or whatever. When I ask myself, where am I? Where are you? I thought you were engaged. Where are your carrots, girl? Please, I received units. Get rid of it. And if that's the case, her joyful response to the fact that Jennifer was cheated on now makes great sense. Tiffany feels that this isn't only rumors. Karma is whirling the block instantly. However, this is the twist. Not everyone believes that Tiffany's giggling while enjoying some popcorn in the rear at the suffering of Jennifer. Some individuals use profanity. This entire controversy may possibly be the golden ticket that will be given to Tiffany straight back into the arms of Common. She's made it abundantly evident that she is still hanging up on him. A bit of side chick drama too. Wouldn't be at all alarmed if Tiffany noticed even the smallest crack in the door. The first person to knock would be her. Let's maintain it. Come close to me, baby. $1. When Tiffany initially started dating, she was much more confined than the average person. He always was. She gave it her all over the day. 1, advocating for their IPO throughout the pandemic and showing off their couple lives in public view. Do not forget Dwayne's Instagram Live. Gabrielle Union and Wade. Tiffany angled, the world is perfect with that camera. Might peek at her man who was seated in the cut. Gushing in. She was organizing birthday parties, interviews, as well as giving clues regarding propositions of marriage. She even revealed she didn't require a diamond ring, people. She desired an apartment. Construction. She was that serious about creating a lasting relationship with him. However, typical, he was providing the bare minimum energy throughout. On the day of her birthday, rather than making a big show with sexy romanticism and air balloons like she fantasized about, he simply forwarded blossoms. A milestone with Flower's birthday as well. Tiffany desired a spouse, and love might last forever. Both of us have occupations. Well, I believe that after Tiffany once I resumed my activities, it's actually prevented us from spending as much time and devote as much effort as possible to our connection. The love doesn't seem to quite scattered. I simply believe it was as though we weren't giving a connection, and, as you stated, neither one of us will stop just as as you are aware, we both value our crafts and our actions. However, all she received from him was enjoyable and brief feelings. Thus, when the split occurred, fans weren't even surprised. They were, I'm relieved. Everyone was aware that Tiffany had encircled his finger. However, the kicker is here. It was Common, who cut the power. Additionally, rather than he attempted to dress things up while being true to himself, using the traditional justification of hectic schedules. Tiffany clapped because she didn't believe it, returned quickly, stating that he simply wasn't made for settling down. She even made a comparison between him and buzzing from blossom to flower like a bee, never settling in one place. She halted, not quite shouting, cheater. However, people were intrigued by the manner she hinted, ignoring the entire circumstance. And then Common appeared as if by clockwork. Tiffany and Jennifer made sure people were aware of her ongoing pain. She left during interviews, Common the funniest and healthiest relationship. She'd claimed it was the only location they had ever had. She was really at ease. However, the bomb was slipped in. The split wasn't not at all mutual. She disclosed Typical told her bluntly, this relationship is coming to an end, and Tiffany, you never won to retaliate. Immediately struck back with shade. She essentially said to him, all right, however, you will be a year-old unmarried man back then. And now it's appearing like Jennifer Hudson is unable to stop sprinting that same worn-out play, observing the same old fading pull, pretend that he has been pursuing ladies for decades. The rumors are now growing louder. What the streets are saying, the new mystery woman from Common isn't just someone Jennifer, but some Flink truly is aware. Yes, exactly. The betrayal hurts more than anyone else. Idea. There are rumors. Additionally, we are concerned about love and collaboration. However, I believe, the vitality that has been invested in our professions and still wanting to pursue the actions we take for our own benefit and for the people, as though it was difficult in order for me to balance everything and continue the friendship. Well, J. Hud has been caught off guard due of this. An additional female has been orbiting their circle for several months, or perhaps more. Suddenly, Jennifer's photo is flawless. It looks like a great love story, arrangement. The most bizarre aspect, only a handful Common was still grinning a few weeks ago in interviews, phoning Jennifer inspiration as well as his queen. He even indicated that he was at last prepared for parenthood, and his admirers accepted his belief. However, sources claim that behind the scenes, he was already making out with a fresh person. Jennifer is left to act foolish, without even being aware of it. Consider yourself as appreciated in public while your partner is away. I'm living a double life here. And for this reason, Tiffany Haddish is flourishing in the backdrop. For her, this is more than karma. It's the best it old you. She has been alerting people. Common's romantic life has been a rotating door. Jennifer is now thrown ensnared in the cycle of spin. Tiffany hasn't yet launched into a tirade, but the tiny insults she's been saying, everything. She seems to be daring Jennifer to acknowledge the true situation down. Fans are currently divided. On one, however, some individuals are dragging Tiffany for being disorganized, claiming to be resentful, and surviving on a relationship's drama she ought to have let the past go years ago. On the other hand, many people are presenting flowers to Tiffany, stating she was the first to notice the warning signs and attempted to load the game's universe. In any case, he claims that the work he's doing on himself will enable him to carry out a dream of a lifetime. Additionally, you write a lot about your goals. A husband in the future. You've got a rather well-known relationship counselor? Yes, indeed. Yes, Michelle, it is correct. Obama, she has undoubtedly assisted me in talking through only specific instances of connections. We spoke with each other, and I've learned a lot from her. However, she told me one wonderful thing as I was traveling this path because that Tiffany is winning with her nasty smirk news reports. But Jennifer's anguish is whispering. Jennifer's word is, she is not at all taking this lightly. According to people close to her, she's been in complete breakdown, phoning her pal scrying and attempting to determine where everything went wrong. According to reports, she's enraged that she dropped her defenses for a man with a past of only red flags. According to some, she's already disconnecting him, preventing him from making calls, and preparing a strategy to manipulate this scandal without allowing her career to be ruined. Picture. Since, let's face it, Jennifer Hudson isn't the kind to keep quiet forever. Why is the drama even happening? More spiky are the fan theories that are exploding on social media. People are excavating, using vintage images, vintage interviews, and even glaring at all the women who have been observed recently close to Common. TikTok investigators believe they've already broke the case, hurling names in the air and highlighting receipts that could reveal the other women. Additionally, with each Jennifer's name appears in the new post. Popular not because of her skill, but because being trapped in the never-ending cycle of lies and love. A single virus it was properly summed up in the comment. Tiffany Jennifer caught it after avoiding a bullet. Just one line has been circulated thousands of times, and it clearly demonstrates way this love triangle is being framed by fans. The one in the middle is common.mess. However, all eyes are on Tiffany and Jennifer were locked in a silence war, as the aforementioned individual walks away, unharmed, like he always does. And when everyone believed Jennifer was, the bomb dropped as they were about to remain silent. At last, she began clapping back in her independently. She didn't call out the statement, no. Specifically, the subliminals have been flying heavily at one of her on-stage displays. Jennifer paused between songs that discuss loyalty and respect, claiming that she's not the kind of lady who accepts falsehoods. The audience erupted, and fans immediately connected her remarks to the typical scandal. You must realize that you are not going to acquire someone who is ideal since you're not flawless. So be aware of that. There are some specific items that you'll make a concession in selecting that companion, but as long as the fundamental principles, the principles that are most, that individual is essential to you. You're good when you cross things off that list. There. She gave you some wise counsel. There is some excellent wisdom there. It was the most tasteful shade anyone could toss. However, believe that the message was clearly and loudly. Social media enlivened the second clip reaches the timeline. Remarks poured in saying, "Oh, she's speaking concerning Common. Don't participate." And Jennifer is too sophisticated to flaunt him. However, there was a warning shot there. Even those who don't often adhere to, there was a lot of celebrity conflict. According to J. Hud had just perfected the art of retaliation, without mentioning names at all. However, this is where chaos arises. Tiffany Haddish observed those videos as well. Furthermore, she was unable to avoid stoking the flames. Rather, instead of keeping it adorable, she went online, with a mysterious post stating, "Some women don't pay attention until they experience it themselves." Supporters recognized who she was discussing. Additionally, the internet exploded once more. That single line revealed that it was sharper than a knife. Tiffany continues to live for every bit of this mayhem. Additionally, when Jennifer tries taking the high road according to insiders behind the scenes, she is enraged. Companions claim that she has been constantly raving about how ashamed she is, particularly given that Common had her searching out here, like the next eternal love. Recall that he'd everyone thinking that marriage was imminent. The table. In fact, Jennifer, I also thought so. To leave an engagement speaks to whispers of infidelity in only a few weeks. That's a humiliation to the public. No one anticipated it. Additionally, fans are highlighting a pattern that isn't disregarded. Each and every woman connected to Common ultimately says the same thing. Although he talks a lot about love, he's nowhere to be found when it comes to action. Located. From Serena to Erykah Badu, the story is repeated from Williams to Angela Rye, similar to clockwork. Jennifer is now realizing she is merely a more name on a list that continues to lengthen. Even worse, that the mysterious woman is still a mystery, yet which is making people deranged. Detectives on the internet are discarding hypotheses every minute. Some believe she's an insider in the sector, others claim she's a subtle model that has been concealed and obvious. However, everyone should know one thing, except that after her name is dropped, the internet will split in two because Jennifer Hudson is not worthy of this degree of betrayal to the people. In the meantime, Tiffany is behaving as though she has already triumphed. She's slipping into the comments, appreciating shady and laughing at memes posts that portray Jennifer as gullible. People are making fun of her for being untidy. She doesn't care, though. This belongs to Tiffany. Victory lap, no matter how trivial. And now, what is the unanswered question? Vicious. Will Jennifer air at last? Is this a genuine comment? Or will she continue to act elegantly while Tiffany does she do the dirty work? In any case, this triangle of love suddenly become one, among the most juicy controversies in Hollywood seen in a moment. And the narrative is far from above. However, this is where everything go totally out of control. Jennifer, as well as Tiffany, is hardly alone among women who have been left to pick up the pieces following typical. This man's extensive resume includes heartaches that date back several decades. We are discussing Taraji P. and Serena Williams, Henson, Angela Rye, and Erykah Badu. The list is lengthy, and the narrative is consistently the same. When a lady becomes too common, finds the escape after investing. And most of these ex-partners don't, I promise, precisely maintain a cordial relationship with him, particularly Erykah Badu. Their separation is still among the most recognizable and contentious splits in hip-hop romance past. Erykah and Common dated from 2000 to 2002. And when everything finally arrived, he collapsed, unable to stop talking regarding it. He informed everyone that she had left. When he was on tour, he called him. He claimed that she remarked, "Hey, I'm not interested in being in this relationship more." He asserted that she abandoned him for another person, and even acknowledged that she was his first genuine affection, his first genuine heartache. He acknowledged that following the breakup, he was merely surviving life, gone and utterly destroyed. However, Erykah refused to allow him to fabricate that tale without resistance. Years later, she fired back, afterward implying that his own actions, perhaps even adultery, was a component of the cause of the conclusion. During one interview, she said something that made everyone observing him closely. "No, adultery is for me, it's not a deal breaker. All of us are sexual beings from birth. Personally, I'm not someone who has a lot of desire. I don't need closeness in order to be happy." Additionally, only people began whispering after that. Even then, was creeping Common? The true pattern here is that the Common's a series of untidy conclusions. After a woman, same story woman. Heartbreak, unresolved inquiries, and no one strolling, removed with positive evaluations, which makes less shocking is Jennifer's sadness and more dependable. She is only the most recent name on an extensive list of women who gained knowledge, the difficult method that typical smooth talkies not the same as loyalty. Jennifer wants, "I need companionship," she said. "I need someone I can rely on. Someone with whom I may develop and adore." However, in the same sentence, she acknowledged that she is aware of the kinds of men she has encountered, those who are constantly itching to chase. And that could help to explain why the narrative with Common appears to be our play of all of his previous breakups. Despite Erykah Badu, rather than acknowledging any misconduct, Common attempted to reverse it, like the one who went off course was her, claiming that she developed affections for someone else. Not only is that dubious, but it's manipulative. Furthermore, the pattern didn't stop there. Following his affair with when Angela Rye fell apart, he was discussing growth, therapy, and being prepared to improve at last companion. Please, if therapy has actually altered him, so why is Jennifer not there? Going through the same thing right now. A nightmare? Right now, he may require to request a reimbursement from that therapist. The most outrageously, he was phoning Jennifer, the interviewee, even lowering clues about getting married, while purportedly moving stealthily behind her back. Not only is it disorganized, but it's blatantly harsh. Since let's not remember, Jennifer has already endured more suffering than most people could ever imagine. Her previous connection with David Otunga, a wrestler, had his own storm. Jennifer's entire world fell apart when the young nephew, mother and brother were sadly. She took it from her brother-in-law only a few weeks following her involved. The loss was unfathomable. That broke her. Furthermore, at that, she required stability more urgently than never. David initially appeared to be that way. Rock. He booked trips, stayed in touch, attempted to assist her in escaping the sadness. Next, there was a flash of happiness. She became pregnant, and she gave birth to their child in 2009, David Jr.'s son. For a while, it appeared as like her family was finally coming together, itself back together. However, by 2010, following after 2 years of engagement, people began posing the crucial query, when is the wedding? What transpired after the vows? There were rumors of excuses, delays, and relational rifts. Soon, their eternal love broke down in public, pandemonium, and Jennifer ended up being alone, once more. I'm still looking for stability, she yearned. This is the location of Jennifer's. The narrative is incredibly powerful. Due to the fact that the breakup with David Otunga wasn't merely, it was a full-blown split, battleground. After over 10 years, their love story continued together, silently. No, it became a bitter conflict. With attorneys, disputes over custody, and public drama was splattered all over headline. Jennifer submitted in 2017. A protective order was issued against David, asserting that he had been combative and dangerous in their house. David was dismissed back, saying she set it up to get the advantage in their dispute over custody over David Jr. Their kid, all of a sudden, what appeared to be a stable now, the partnership was being shattered, fragment by fragment. With both sides throwing explosives at one another, Jennifer claimed that David's anger had gotten out of control, claiming that she was afraid for her security as well as her boys. She even left home, of their family's house, in order to defend herself. David, however, had no intention of letting her paint. He is the antagonist. He returned the clap court records, stating that Jennifer was making up stories to keep him away from their son. He maintained that he had been merely a loving father and that she was deceiving the partner. Story. The fans were taken aback. No one anticipated the pair who previously seemed so powerful to collapse in this manner. For decades, people believed David to be her pillar of support during the most difficult period of her life. However, he was now being charged with control and intimidation. Additionally, Jennifer, she was accused of being exploited. Celebrity influence to disparage him. The entire things quickly became toxic, and the mess years passed throughout the judicial struggle before being discreetly seated behind closed doors. However, even after the dust, the wounds were deep and settled. Jennifer departed unmarried, wary, and protected. She gave her all to her son and her profession, re-establishing her empire brick by brick. However, one thing was evident. She wasn't about love when it comes to readily reveal her heart once more. That's precisely why she's getting with ordinary, shocked individuals. Fans pondered if those boundaries can be broken down by anyone. It has to be genuine. However, that delusion has now, like everything else, it crumbled. Additionally, this is bitter irony. Jennifer has been battling throughout her life to create stability, tragically losing her family, observing her engagement to David collapse, and currently purportedly being betrayed by Common. As usual, when she lowers her defenses, she receives burned, so this is cheating. Scandal is not just untidy, but heartbreaking on a whole new level. Tiffany Haddish was unable to resist expressing her opinions. Although for years, Jennifer fought for custody, Tiffany made dubious remarks regarding women must choose better men. The people didn't give it much thought at the time. However, enthusiasts are now bringing those clips back to life, stating that Tiffany has always had a clever way to describe Jennifer's love life. Furthermore, Common caught in the Tiffany appears to be in the middle, enjoying each clumsy relationship. Social media has also been brutal. One admirer. Jennifer deserves a man who understands her needs, keeps her going instead of causing her more heartache. A second person clapped back, saying, "Sis has a pattern. She consistently chooses men who aren't constructed for all time." The arguments are infinite, but everyone agrees on one thing. The first is that Jennifer is not deserving of being degraded in this manner. Now, after everything, there is a question. Jennifer has experienced things. Will she finally say something about Common? Or will she let Tiffany's trivial criticism and typical slick justifications rule the headlines? For if there's one reason, Jennifer Hudson is skilled at what she does. Turn the suffering that life has given her around into authority. And admirers are anticipating if she's going to do that this time, by blasting Comet for the entire planet to listen. Jennifer then disclosed that in the last few months of her partnership, it got gloomy with David Otunga, unbelievably unattractive, even her largest supporters. She charged him with turning into hostile, menacing, and even violent to their son and to her. She claimed that things got really out of control, that she began to get chills messages that shocked her to the core center. It became so stressful at one point that security had to be called in just to stop him from barging into her workspace and making a commotion. And it continued, there. Jennifer claims that the tension reached the house, where she said their son was once seized by David, grabbed him by the arm, pulled him upstairs, and Jennifer was locked out of the room. Consider the anguish of seeing your child dragged away from you when you're being pushed out the door. She answered, that's the pain. She kept quiet till the truth came out. Come to light at last. Let's retain it then, actual. Jennifer was deserving of far more than that mayhem. However, this is the question of a lifetime. Was Common ever truly an improvement or merely another grief disguised as slick conversation and charm? Because it's now looking Jennifer. It seems like he was never a good man, believed she had discovered. Rather, he simply included her name in a lengthy list of women left broken in his rearview mirror. And if history is any indication, anything, it's just a question of time before he gently introduces his next situationship that is completely unimportant occurred. Additionally, who is enjoying her life during this entire ordeal? Tiffany Haddish. She didn't simply toss a small shade. She made the entire circus laugh. Open, pulling the name of Jennifer into the fires as Common displays his new flame that is visible to all. The Tiffany's enjoying the mess, and she's creating She Warned the World, and I'm sure no one forgets it. About him first. Currently, the internet's going wild over a single important question. Was Tiffany simply enjoying making fun of her, the new girlfriend of your ex? Or did she tear it open? Injuries from which Jennifer is still bleeding? There is one certainty and two things for without a doubt. This tale is far from finished. Since the following chapter is going to get even more crazy after we discover out of the silence if Jennifer Hudson is attempting to regain Common's favor, or if she's prepared to reveal him in ways he was unaware of approaching. Don't go anyplace then. Hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment with your ideas and watch this video with your people.